Do you think that Web3 could revolutionize how these athletes interact with their fans and monetize their careers?
Absolutely. I think a big thing when it comes to Web3 is the ownership. People get to own their own data. They get to cut out that middleman. It decentralizes the playing field, and it helps bring more power to the athletes to be able to be entrepreneurs, to build their brand, and to get closer into their community, being able to bring fan experiences, not just physically, but digitally as well. I think it's going to be huge.
Harley Hermanson is redefining what it means to be a modern combat sports athlete, competing in the Influencer Fight Club at Karate Combat, building in Web3 technology, and using blockchain to drive real-world impact. He secured a first-round knockout at his last fight and has also launched Fight for an Impact, a movement helping combat sports athletes give back through crypto. And Harley is proving that combat sports and tech innovation go hand in hand. We dive into his journey, the future of Web3 in sports, and how he's helping pave the way for the next generation of combat sports athletes. I've been following and watching Harley for a while, so I really enjoyed this conversation. Make sure you go and follow him across all of his links, which you can see down in the description below. And if you are enjoying this podcast, it would mean the world for me to give me a subscribe, like, follow, drop a comment as well. All of that is super helpful, and I always appreciate the feedback. And now, Harley Hermanson, let's get it. Welcome back to Fight Capital, where we enter the ring of combat sports business. I'm your host, Ryan Rapaport. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Harley Hermanson. He is a multifaceted professional excelling in both combat sports and the Web3 space. As an MMA fighter with a 1-0 record, he competes in the Influencer Fight Club at Karate Combat, recently securing a first-round TKO victory at Karate Combat in Salt Lake City. Beyond the ring, serves as the director of nonprofits at Circularity Finance, focusing on empowering small and medium-sized enterprises to establish DAOs or DAOs. And he is also a creator that discusses the intersection of sports and blockchain technology. So I'm excited to have him here today. Thanks for joining me, Harley. How are you and where are you joining from?
Thank you for having me as well. It's been a pleasure to finally get on. I've been watching this for a while. I know a lot of my homies have been on here, so I'm doing good. I'm a little snowed in here at the moment. I'm in Missouri, and we got quite a bit of a snowstorm, but been making the best out of it. Still been getting my training in, getting ready for ETH Denver for Karate Combat 53, IFC 8. So all good on my end.
Great to hear it, man. We'll hope you're staying warm out there. And I'm just curious, what initially drew you into combat sports, and talk to me a little bit about what your journey was like before joining IFC and competing for Karate Combat there.
Yeah, of course. So I've had a background in karate since I was younger. My parents put me in when I was like 7 or 8. I was in there for a year before our dojo shut down. And then from there, didn't really get to continue. So I ended up looking for some combat sports for my kids for discipline about 3 years ago. I got my son into it as well as my daughter, and kind of found, how am I going to put them in it if I'm not doing it myself? So it kind of got to be this thing where we all got competitive, especially me and my son though. He's actually, he competes in IKF kickboxing events, point kickboxing. So he's been doing that for the last year. He's won several silver medals. He has another tournament, 2 tournaments coming up in May where he's looking to go for the gold this time.
That's so cool, man. I'm a huge proponent of putting kids into martial arts, and so very cool. It's funny you say that because my martial arts background is a very similar journey. I started doing martial arts, and then my parents joined. They both got their black belts in karate, so it's just kind of funny. I think it's very cool when it's a family thing, right? And important out there today. Well, talk to me a little bit about how you got involved with Influencer Fight Club, IFC, and what made you decide to join and start competing there.
Yeah, of course. So I've been in the crypto space for a while. I'm pretty well known. I go to a lot of these events. And I've also been aware of Karate Combat for the last 2 years or so. I've been a super fan. I've been doing the up-only gaming, been doing the voting. So whenever I saw the first IFC 1 come up, with BitBoy as well as More Light, I knew it was something that I could do. I immediately loved it, and I had no plans on competing at all. Like, I have nothing here to prove locally. I didn't want to go through like the amateur scene here because a lot of my fighters in the gym have went that route, and I see that doesn't really work out too well usually. There's a lot of politics involved. So whenever that opportunity came up, I just started blowing up George's phone. I was like, get me in here. I need to get in. At the time, I was about 205 pounds. That's usually what I walk around at. And he told me, look, you're not going to find anybody at 205. Get down to 185, 190. We can talk about it. So I started dieting from there. I got to about 192, and then he hit me up. He's like, hey, man, I got something for you. I'm like, cool. He was like, by the way, you got to get back up in weight. So I ended up getting back up to 205. And this was in Nashville when I was going up against Grimace, who currently holds the WBC belt for Crypto Fight Night. And he had some health issues going on. He wasn't able to fight at that event. So after that, they were able to match me up with Toki, which was a really good match. Nothing but respect for him. I ended up securing the fastest knockout in the IFC at 35 seconds. So now I got the opportunity for the main card for IFC 8 in Denver, going up against a boxer named Matt. So it should be a really good match.
Yeah, man, I was at that one at KC50. Was such a cool one, and everyone was super jacked for you. It was really cool. I just assumed you were like, I didn't know that at the time it was an IFC match because everyone knew you so well, but it makes sense because of all the people that are involved in the crypto community there. And that's one of the things I love about KC is just that unique approach to blending the traditional martial arts with the modern entertainment and the tech. And it's just, I think, one of the coolest obviously I'm biased because I work with them too, but can you just talk to me a little bit about how your experience with the promotion has been, especially considering the fact that you're in the martial arts world outside of that too?
Yeah, of course. So at my gym, I've seen a lot of promotions, especially the ones here local that my other fighters are getting into. I've cornered them. I help them out in fight camps. I go out to these events with them, and no one does it like Karate Combat. It's just amazing, the level of professionalism. I think that has a lot to do with them actually being martial artists, especially President Awesome having that background, caring so deeply about his fighters. I mean, you even go to Goat Shed. I've had the blessings of being able to go down there multiple times and train with them. And the staff, the coaching staff there is amazing. The fighters are amazing there. And it just forces you to level up. And then whenever you get there, they go to the craziest venues. They have the best setup when it comes to like the graphics in the background. It feels like you're in a video game just going into it. I know it's cliche to say it, but I really feel like this is the future of fighting.
Not cliche at all, man. I'm right there with you. And as someone like yourself who understands and experiences the combat sports world, but also being involved in Web3, I'd love for you just to break down your role in the Web3 space and how you kind of see blockchain technology impacting combat sports and maybe sports as a whole too.
Of course. So I actually come from the background of healthcare. So I got a bachelor's in business management as well as human resources. I ended up getting into VA. My father was a veteran, so I wanted to help out veterans like my father. From there, COVID hit, and I felt like I needed a career change. I felt like I was doing more harm than good in healthcare, and I was already knees deep into blockchain technology. I was already working for multiple projects as community managers, and I ended up networking and connecting with my team that I'm still working with years later. And we kind of had the message of United by Health. We were in the process of creating a Move to Earn application that incentivizes movement. And then from there, we had some hurdles. So we kind of figured out the hurdles that businesses have when it comes to getting into Web3. So we kind of shifted gears into an incubator, which is Circularity Finance, that has a 100-day program that helps businesses make that transition so that we can shorten their timeline for success. We also have an IP marketplace where they can get the smart contracts needed to go ahead and build on the blockchain. And where I really come in, I've really seen the philanthropy space and seen some of the hurdles in it, especially when it comes to transparency and where blockchain, especially with NFT and proof of donation receipts, can really fix some of these hurdles. And I've had the pleasure of connecting with St. Jude, and we've partnered up for an initiative that I started called Fight for Impact, where I put a portion of my purse and using blockchain technology, I put it directly to St. Jude's wallet. They're going to actually be out there for my fight in my corner. So it's awesome to see. And it's actually been growing. We've had other fighters such as Michael Heckert that does bare knuckle boxing, as well as CFN and IFC. And also Arturo Vergara, the bantamweight world champion for Karate Combat. He's fighting for impact as well. So it's only grown. And I just want to grab more fighters and show that we can do something more than just fight for ourselves, but fight for something bigger and actually make an impact while doing it.
I love that, man. I mean, just working in the personal mission behind what you're doing to compete and then tying in the philanthropy aspect of that's so huge. And, just talking about Arturo too, just had him for the 3rd podcast. I'll be dropping that fight week next week. So such a huge fan of him. What a great guy to have working with you. And you touched on something that I've really looked at, and I think a lot of athletes and fighters have done. These guys who are these men and women who are looking at NFTs, DAOs, and maybe tokenizing their fan engagement. Do you think that Web3 could revolutionize how these athletes interact with their fans and monetize their careers? Hey everyone, just want to take a quick pause here to thank you so much for all the support. I've been seeing really awesome growth lately, and as I continue to meet new people and find new avenues to tell stories for this combat sports business world, I really would appreciate if you could give me your feedback on the posts, as well as comment them. Please give me a subscription and follow me across all platforms. Links below. And really looking forward to putting out amazing content here in 2025. Now, if you wouldn't mind just doing me that favor, really appreciate it. Now, back to the content.
Absolutely. I think a big thing when it comes to Web3 is the ownership. People get to own their own data. They get to cut out that middleman. It decentralizes the playing field, and it helps bring more power to the athletes to be able to be entrepreneurs, to build their brand, and to get closer into their community, being able to bring fan experiences, not just physically, but digitally as well. I think it's going to be huge. I think Karate Combat really is at the foundation of it, because they were able to bring up-only gaming and being able to make that fan engagement more personal. I think fighters are starting to get more education on the technology out there. And I think that's kind of where the IFC fighters fall into place with Karate Combat, is helping onboard these athletes and showing them how this technology works. And from there, I mean, we live in influencer economy. So it's just going to go not just from our fans as influencers, but to the athletes' fans as well. I think it's only going to spread from here, not just with fighting, but also for Web3 as well.
I agree 100%. You've built this very strong online presence. How do you balance that, fatherhood, fighter, and growing that personal brand in the digital space together? I mean, there's so much I'm sure you're doing there.
I'm not going to lie. It can get difficult at times, but I'm blessed to have a strong team behind me. Nobody can do it alone. So I'm really blessed to have a strong team with Circularity, strong sponsors that have my back, such as First Ledger, and then also, of course, Circularity Finance as well. So it's just been a blessing to have good people in my corner, and also to be doing what I love, because it's a blessing to be able to not only fight for IFC, but to be able to bring in the blockchain, bring in the philanthropy, and kind of be able to bring my own twists into things and to help inspire other fighters to do the same.
What's your ultimate goal in combat sports? Are you just looking to use IFC and Karate Combat as a stepping stone, or do you see yourself just continuing to keep building long-term with that organization?
I'm here for the long run with IFC. I think we're at Karate Combat. I think we're at something really early. I mean, you look at UFC, they're already in 312, 311, somewhere around that area. Karate Combat's in the 50s at 53, and then IFC's even earlier at IFC 8. So I'm in the position I'm at, I'm one of the legends in the sport already. I'm already one of the OGs. So I just want to continue to keep on fighting here. I'm comfortable. I like the people around me. I like the team. And my main goal is to get that IFC championship, get the title, get the belt.
I love that, man. I guess, just wrapping up, as someone who is involved in the Web3 space, knows and understands blockchain technology and how that works, if you could create a Web3 based business that directly benefits combat sports athletes, what would that look like for you?
I think I'm already building it when it comes to Fight for Impact. It's in the beginning stages where we're using this technology to give back to nonprofits. I'm personally doing it to St. Jude because they're helping kids. As a father, I think it's kind of our responsibility. We've came into the world with messed up systems, so it's our responsibility with this technology to build better systems for the next generation. So I really identify with that. But with this technology, any athlete, if they have a cause that they want to fight for, they can go ahead and bring that nonprofit on, as long as they have a wallet that can go ahead and receive value, as long as they have an entity already set up. And in the long run, I want to go ahead and make this into a Fight for Impact DAO, decentralize it, and have a way for fighters who are past their career that they can have something that they can use as kind of like a retirement plan, so that they don't have to worry about what's next after fighting. They can continue to coach, they can advocate the sport, or do whatever they want to do past their fighting career.
I love that, man. And like I said before, I mean, just the personal aspect of you supporting the athletes with what you know, and then also giving yourself your own blood and sweat in the pit, I think is so cool to see. Before we get going, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to, whether it's a sponsor or supporters? I know you threw some out there already, but anyone else that you'd like to?
Yeah, of course. First off, I want to shout out to the whole Karate Combat IFC team. They're incredible. Also, my sponsors, I want to give a shout out to Circularity Finance, as well as First Ledger on the XRP network. They're the easiest way to create a token and also to create a wallet on XRP. And also want to give a shout out to my coaches and and the other fighters at Legacy MMA here in Joplin that have been getting me ready. And yeah, just want to give a shout out to all my supporters too. I got a big fight coming up. Make sure to get your karate tokens and put it on me for Up Only Gaming. Easy karate.
That's a good bet there. And if anyone wants to follow you or reach out to you, what's the best way to get in contact, Harley?
Yeah, either Instagram or X are the two platforms I use the most. Both of them are GLOGETA with a 0, so GL0GETA is the handle.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll make sure to put all the links down in the description as well. And wishing you a best rest of your training camp here as you wrap that out. And best of luck out in Denver when this comes out, it'll be this week, but February 28th in Denver, Colorado, KC53 Influencer Fight Club. Can't wait to see you out there competing again, man.
Can't wait to be out there. Thank you for the platform. Have a good one.
You too, Harley. Thank you.